The Gauteng Education Department is still investigating the circumstances that led to the fatal stabbing of a learner in Thaba-Jabula Secondary School in Soweto. The victim was stabbed allegedly by another learner at the school on Thursday in what's been described as a bullying incident. This is once again shone a spotlight on the scourge of violence in South African schools. So let's unpack the story now. We're joined by the National Association of School Governing Bodies, its Secretary General, Matakanye Matakanye, who joins us on the line this morning. It's great to speak to you this morning, sir. I mean, it's incredibly shocking, just the details around this story. On the face of it, what do you make of what happened there?
Good morning, and good morning to all your listeners. We really want to send our deepest heartfelt condolences to what has happened to the family. The family sent a child to school. When they expected the child to come back home, then the child ended up in the school. We also want to send condolences to all the classmates and the school as a whole, the staff and the school governing body, parents generally. That in the same vein we condemn this type of heinous act in the school, where then these children carry the weapons of war into the school and they are able to go through, whereas we know that we have got laws in that school that bars these children to bring these weapons of war in schools. And we want to call upon the school governing body to say, strengthen these laws. Make sure that these laws work. Because if they work, there is no way that these children can bring weapons of war in the school. And we also call upon the management to ensure that they make sure that they supervise these laws, and so that we must not end up losing our children in the school where we expected our children to go and learn. They are going to school to learn, not to do all these fun things that they end up losing their lives. And we also say to the Department of Education, please, counsel our children, counsel the teachers, counsel even everybody that is involved, because there is a traumatic activity where you lose your friends, you lose your mate, you lose your child in that school.
Yeah, certainly. And I think just for some context for our viewers who are just catching on to the story now, it's alleged that the perpetrator in this incident, who is a learner, was defending his younger brother from being bullied, and he reportedly stabbed the victim 4 times, then fled the scene, and of course the injured learner succumbing to his injuries in a nearby hospital. So there are 2 issues that you've raised here. The one is, of course, how are children able to bring these kinds of weapons onto school premises? And of course the other issue is, again, around the scourge of bullying in our schools.
That's why you see that, and hence I call upon the school governing bodies to say, are there really laws in the schools that bars these children from bullying one another? Because immediately one learner bullies another one, that matter must be reported to the authority, and the authority must act. This authority has got right to ensure that they suspend this child and call upon the parents to come and account why is this children not concentrating on learning, concentrating on coming to school and bully other children. Then this thing will have been long detected before even these children are killing one another. It will have been detected, and this child will have been suspended, and the parents of that child been called to school to account and say, why is this child doing all these things? And if this child needs help, then the school will have helped that child. Because some children are doing these things because they've got some problems. Then they must be helped. It's the only place where these children can be helped if they've got social problems in that school, rather than finally bring a weapon of war and kill in the school in defense of the brother and all those things. This is supposed to have been solved by the school.
Yeah, it's such an incredibly devastating story, and certainly the kind of incident that we should not be seeing unfolding in our schools. Matakanye Matakanye, let me thank you for your time this morning. He is the National Association of School Governing Bodies Secretary General. Devastating story, that, and one we're continuing to keep our eyes on, especially because teaching and learning is meant to resume at the school this morning.